Hello and welcome to today's morning nourishing yoga flow. Whether you are a complete beginner or an experienced practitioner, this class welcomes everyone. Today we will incorporate mindfulness into our movement and our breathing practices to really help us deepen our appreciation of the present moment and cultivate a space of peace and tranquility. I invite you to join me in a comfortable seated position, perhaps closing the eyes. Gifting yourself this space to honor your own experience. Noticing if there are any sensations present in the body. Perhaps there is some internal dialogue, mental narratives. Knowing that there's no need to change anything, there's no need to label anything, just creating the space to be here as you are. You might like to set an intention for today's practice. Or if not, you might like to thank yourself for showing up here today, recognizing your courage, your strength, and your resilience. Gifting yourself one more mindful breath in this posture. And on your next inhale, raising the arms overhead, lengthening the torso, joining the palms together. Exhale, lowering the hands to heart center. Placing the palms on the knees, we'll come into a seated cat-cow. Inhale, broaden across the heart space, gaze up. Exhale, curl and round, chin to chest. And again, inhale. Exhale. A few more times as we mobilize and energize the spinal column. Inviting fluidity into your experience. And you might like to create some barrel-like circular motions, scooping the chest forwards and around and back into the side. Perhaps swapping the direction. And slowing down the movement. Beautiful work. Turning to face the short edge of the mat, we'll come onto all fours in a tabletop position, Bhujangasana. Join the big toes together, widen the knees slightly, guide the glutes to the heels, and begin to walk your arms out in front, maybe lowering the forehead onto the mat, allowing the belly and the chest to soften, melting into the earth. Feeling a beautiful stretch along the back body. And if you'd like an active variation, you're more than welcome to tent up onto your fingertips, elevating the arms entirely. Listening to your body. One more nourishing breath in your version of child's pose. Pressing into the palms, rounding the spine, rolling the torso forwards as we come into cobra Bhujangasana. Exhale, send the hips back, child's pose. A few more times. Inhale, roll through cat pose and broaden the heart space, gaze up. Exhale, flow through cow tilt and guide the sits bones to the heels. Keeping the arms extended. Imagining as though you are an ocean wave, moving with grace, allowing the breath to guide you. On your next inhalation, we'll arrive in cobra and pause here for a few breaths. Really grounding down through the tops of the feet here, the fingertips, the palms, to help elongate the spine, relaxing the glutes. Exhale, send the hips back, child's pose. Inhale, rise to tabletop, engaging the core muscles, having a neutral spine, grounding down through the palms, tucking the left toes under, extend the left leg back, and on your next inhale, float the left leg up to hip height, keeping the hips squared to the earth. The left foot is flexed, imagining as you can push through that left heel to really help elongate the leg, either staying here or extending your right arm out in front, raising it to shoulder height, palm facing towards the midline. This is our bird dog, Dandayamana Bhujangasana. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw the right elbow to the left knee. And again, inhale. Exhale a few more times. Rounding and extending the spine. Really engaging the core here. Knowing that you can always speed up or slow down the movement. Doing your best to keep the pelvis stable, we'll lower the right palm down and begin to pulse that left leg. Really turning on the glutes and the hamstrings here. Ever so slightly raising and lowering that leg a few centimeters. Breathing through any tension. Reminding yourself of your inner strength. You can do this. Breathe. Either keeping the legs static or we'll come into tiger pose by Vajrasana, flexing the left knee, guiding the right arm to grab a hold of the medial edge of that left ankle, raising the leg as you simultaneously open the chest, gazing forwards. Really pressing into the top of the right foot to help you stay grounded. One more breath. Gently re-extend the arm and the leg, return to tabletop, and sink the hips back, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop, and we'll prepare for the other side, grounding down through the left leg. Extend the right leg back, squaring off the hips. Inhale, float the right leg up, ensuring that the right toes and the right kneecap are facing towards the earth. Pushing through that right heel to find length, softening the back of the neck, relaxing the facial features. Perhaps raising the left arm as we come into bird dog. Noticing how this posture feels for you. Noticing if it triggers any sensations, any narratives. Simply being curious. And from here we'll come into our bird dog crunches. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left elbow to right knee a few more times. Re-extend the right leg, place the left palm on the earth, and we'll begin to pulse that right leg. Keeping the leg activated, foot is flexed. Really turning on the back of the body here. You might begin to feel it in your left leg just after we worked that side, so be gentle, be compassionate. Final few pulses. Keep the leg up, point the toes, and come into tiger pose. And this time using the left palm to grab a hold of the right ankle. One more breath. And gently release. Beautiful work. Again, sinking the hips back, child's pose. Relaxing the hips, releasing any tension from around the glutes, softening the shoulders. Inhale, tabletop, tenting up onto the fingertips, engaging the core, and we'll mindfully guide our left foot down between the palms, coming into a supported low crescent moon, Anjaneyasana, or you might like to raise the arms skywards, ensuring that that left knee stays aligned with the ankle. You might like to come into a bit of a back bend here, broadening the heart space, ensuring that that lower abdomen does stay engaged. Noticing the stretch along the right side of your hip, the front of your leg. Returning the palms to the earth, tucking the back toes under, extending the right leg, grounding down through the right palm, raise the left arm skywards, gazing up to the left. Exhale, left palm on the earth, lower the back knee down, tabletop, one breath here. And we'll come into Ashtanga Namaskar, lowering the chest down. Inhale, push up into cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, child's pose, beautiful work. Reconnecting with the respiration. Inhale, tabletop, tent up onto the fingertips, and this time placing the right foot between the palms. Finding your variation of crescent moon. Maybe raising the arms skywards and imagining as though you can scissor and squeeze your inner thighs towards the midline so that we can guide energy upwards, protecting the pelvis and the internal organs. One more mindful breath. Gently place the palms down, frame the front foot, extend the left leg, ground down through the left palm. Inhale, raise the right arm, twist to the right, keeping the hips squared. Feeling the strength of your lower body supporting you here. Exhale, right palm to the earth, lower the back knee down, tabletop, Ashtanga Namaskar, 8-limb staff pose. Inhale, press up into cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, child's pose, well done. Staying in child's pose for as long as you like, or joining us in downward dog, transitioning through tabletop, tucking the toes under, and raising the pelvis, the hips, perhaps extending the legs, or you might like to keep a micro bend in the knees, finding what feels good, knowing that it's okay to have the heels elevated, or if you have the mobility today, you might like to guide them towards the earth, elongating the entire posterior chain here, gazing between the feet, softening the ribs. Inhale, roll through into plank pose, and we'll take a chaturanga, coming through 4-limbed staff pose into upward facing dog, Utthita Parsvakonasana. Exhale, push back into down dog. Breathe. Inhale, guide the right foot between the palms, coming up into a high crescent moon, Anjaneyasana. The back leg is extended, staying high on the ball of that back foot, creating a 90-degree angle between that right leg and the earth. Raising the arms, stretching the torso, and doing your best to keep the shoulders aligned with the hips. Breathe. From here, pivoting to the left, coming into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana. This time, arms are extended at shoulder height, stretching the fingertips and the arms in opposite directions, engaging the entire body here, gazing forwards, The back leg is extended and we're pressing into the lateral edge of the back foot to help support us here. Lowering the right forearm to the right thigh, extended side angle. Perhaps raising the right arm to meet the left. Really turning on the core here. And you might like to come into a bound variation, guiding the right arm underneath the right leg, perhaps interlacing your fingers together behind your back, or grabbing a hold of one wrist, gazing up, sinking those hips down and really using the strength of the glutes and the outer hips of that front leg, the right leg, to help support you. Inhale, warrior two. Cartwheel the arms forwards, plank pose, either taking a chaturanga or meeting us in downward facing dog. Allowing the body to guide you here, lean into your inner guidance system. Closing the eyes. Inhale, guide the left foot between the palms, float the arms up, crescent moon, Anjaneyasana. Breathe. With intention, pivoting to the right, setting up for warrior two, Virabhadrasana, knowing that it's always okay to adjust your stance if you'd like to bring the legs a little closer together or further apart, remembering that you're never resigned to a single posture. It might be helpful for your stability to align the left heel with the arch of the right foot. One more mindful breath here. Lowering the left forearm onto the left thigh, raising the right arm skywards, extended side angle, and either staying here or finding your variation, perhaps extending the left arm, or finding a bind. Wherever you are in the posture, we'll meet in warrior two, one breath here. Cartwheel the arms forward, step the left foot back to meet the right, plank pose, Ashtanga Namaskar, Chaturanga, or meeting us in downward facing dog. Breathe. This is our last down dog, so give yourself permission to stretch it out. Beautiful work, bending the knees, pointing the toes, sinking the hips back to the heels, child's pose. Allowing yourself to surrender, giving yourself permission to embody the softness of this posture. On your next inhale, mindfully guiding yourself upright to a seated position, keeping the eyes closed, lengthening the spinal column. It might feel nice to place one palm on the belly, the other on the heart space, deepening your connection to this moment as you notice the expansion of the breath. And as you feel the relaxation of the body with every exhalation, You might like to take this opportunity to remind yourself of the intention that you set at the beginning of practice, or simply thank yourself for showing up. The light and the teacher in me honors and salutes the light and the teacher in each and every one of you. May you all experience true peace and joy. Namaste.